Yeah, welcome to another vodcast with Karina. How are you?
Finally. Yeah, I'm just fine. When you said vodcast, my immediate thought was, of course, vodka. I thought you were kidding. Vodka cast something, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I was kidding.
It was okay. I thought vodka. Okay, makes sense, but okay.
Subliminal message to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
received. Yeah,
And
everything
you,
here. Okay.
Mats.
Yeah, no, it's fine here also. I think nothing special really.
Yeah, the weather's been good in Sweden.
It's
Yeah.
been amazing actually. This must
Mm.
be the best May ever, I think.
Yeah.
You
Really nice.
forgot the first part of May. Well, wasn't it pretty bad in the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
It's more
Maybe
forgiven.
I think it was 3 weeks ago. I had to like what is it called? Scrape the snow off the windshield.
No,
It
was it
wasn't
like
too
this?
long. Yeah, it
it
was
is
warm,
forgiven
and then
now.
it just fell back during the night, and I have to scrape it. And then I think it was 17 degrees later that day. Yes,
Okay.
weird.
I mean, I was swimming today after work,
Hmm.
like in a small lake, but it's really warm in the water. Like it's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Which lake was it?
Sicklasjön, of course.
Mhm.
Okay.
I was checking on my new apartment.
Oh,
Yes. So how is
oh,
it progressing?
yeah.
I don't know. It's been, it feels like the carpenters have given up on my apartment, basically.
Okay.
They're
Crazy.
going for vacation.
Sorry.
They're going for a vacation.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like it. They were so close of finishing everything, but then they basically felt like work just stopped.
Okay.
So actually, yeah, 2 days ago, then I really had because there's like a project manager for it, and I really had to talk to him and say like, you need to wrap this up now. And now he actually seems like it's going to happen. Quite a few things now. Well, they're going to work in the weekend now, for example. So now he's saying that the kitchen should be finished by Monday, and quite a few other things will also be finished in the weekend. So yeah, and there's it's almost finished. So yeah, maybe in a week. I think actually there will be some progress now in the coming week.
And then the floor is looking good.
Yeah, they did the floor and then they covered it. Which
Okay.
is good because they did a lot of work, heavy work. So I'm happy they covered it. So I never. They took a few pictures after putting down the floor, but then I've never seen it in real life. Actually, it's not going to be until everything is finished. Maybe I will get like a.
So you're not sure
Yeah.
they actually done the floor or not?
No, exactly. Maybe it's
Uh,
just Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
How's it
interesting,
going with your
interesting.
renovation, Henrik?
No, I mean, I have not started because still waiting for the architect to finish that. But on the other hand, we did some changes. I went to the place with many different brokers to see their kind of view of things. And they thought I should have a pool in the front. It's not a big space, but they thought I should have a pool. So probably build a small, like, what it calls a plunge pool or something. That will increase the value of the property, they say. So I'll do that. That was like one last minute change. Yeah, something like that. So hopefully, maybe next week, start sending out to different builders to ask for like different kind of calls on doing this.
Mm. Oh, exciting.
Uh, so, so how was the reunion with you?
Yeah, it was nice. Nordnet
Mm.
reunion. Yeah, it was.
How many
I
was it?
fun. I'm not sure. I think it could have been 30. I think it was 26 that said they were coming. I'm not sure how many came, but then there were some that hadn't responded as well. So 30, 40 people, but I didn't recognize all of them. So, but
Mm.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Nice to see the old ones.
Did you, Mats, also?
Yeah, I did. No, I think it was pretty nice actually.
Yeah, wonderful
Nice.
weather as well. So yeah, it was a nice evening.
Yeah.
And you went to Prague as well.
I did. I did.
Do you remember anything?
Some things. No, but it was really nice actually. We went there with a friend and just walked around and looked at the place. We had a few meetings as well, but we had actually a quite fun place. It was a bar called Prague Scare House or Terror House or something like that, and it was down in the basement. And then we just different movie props from horror movies, but we also had you can pay for a tour in the catacombs, and they had actors who went around and scared people. So we saw some kids coming up and just hyperventilating, and really scared. But it was a fun place, and I love Wiener Schnitzel, and since it's close to Austria, it was really good as well. So it's nice, kind of good sized city, pretty
Did
quickly to
you
just
do the
visit.
beer bath?
Actually, we didn't. I asked my friend who likes beer, but he said it wasn't so special for him. But and I don't like beer, so for me it wasn't such a big thing. But I can guess it's pretty fun, especially if you like beer. And also, it's included. You have a tap by the bathtub,
All
so you
right.
have free
Yeah.
beer all evening. So if I like beer, I think it would be a really good thing. But yeah, it was nice place, nice clubs. Yeah, really nice.
Cool.
Recommend it.
So how is it going at your work, Mats? Your slavery every day.
Yeah, exactly. We were in Italy actually with the company last
Yeah.
week, Thursday to Sunday. So that was pretty nice actually. Up in the northern parts, pretty close to Switzerland actually, Lago Maggiore maybe. Pretty close, to the Como and Garda. This lakes. I don't know if you've been there, but it's really beautiful. Actually, I can recommend it.
So now you want to invest in Italy?
No, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know actually.
No, you don't have to.
No, but I mean, actually, a lot of people were talking about that, and people were actually looking at apartments and stuff like, oh, how much this is so nice. It would be cool to have a place here. But I feel primarily that I want to get away during the winter, and then this is not the right place. This is pretty far up north, and
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, in the spring and summer, yeah, of course, it's nice.
So have you thought about our last discussions on where to go in the winter and where to have your second home?
You had that cliffhanger.
That is true, actually.
We were
Mhm.
supposed to see all the fun places that you were
I
thinking
can,
about.
yeah. I wonder if I can find it though. In the meantime, I can see if I can go to find
And you're gonna push that cliffhanger once again.
it.
So what about the deep frogs?
I think it was at 272. So it's been stabilizing a bit at the bottom. So I'm not sure if it's just waiting to explode again, or I wouldn't bet on it. So, but we will see. We'll keep an eye on it. I also noticed Bitcoin seems to stabilize as well, around 60 or so.
But you noticed the big crypto event, right? The last few weeks. The
Uh,
Ethereum ETF. got approved.
Okay.
Yeah. I read about this today. Has it affected the price?
So it was actually a really funny story, how it came about. Because, as you know, the Bitcoin ETF was approved on the 10th of January this year. And then once that happened, then people said, oh, now the Ethereum ETF will be approved as well. But then as time went on, then people got very, very negative. Because the SEC in America, they didn't reach out to these companies that wanted to start this. There was no interactions. So then people said no, this is not going to happen. They're gonna turn it down. For example, if they say that ETH.
Again.
We lost you. You have to go back 10 seconds now. Whatever you're talking about at the moment.
Normally he gets
Okay,
reconnected. There.
Yeah, we lost you for about 10-15 seconds.
Okay, where did I stop?
Yeah, you were saying that they didn't reach out to the.
Yeah, exactly. And so then people started thinking, okay, this is not going to happen. And the odds were very, very low. Like maybe people said oh, it's going to be 20% chance or something, well below 50%. People did not count on it. And then 1 week before, because they had these dates. In this case, it was they had to give a final decision on the 23rd of May. In this case, that was when the first company applied to for an ETH ETF. And then 1 week before, then Trump went out, and spoke, positively about crypto, basically saying that if I win, then I'm going to be pro crypto. Because the Democrats, they have been super anti crypto. I mean, Elizabeth Warren and these people were extremely strongly against crypto. And there's 85 million Americans today that have some form of crypto. So this is not a small group. And this went viral basically when Trump started talking about it. And then all of a sudden, the Democrats, they just flipped. They just realized, shit, this can be actually, we could lose the election because of this. So then they totally flipped, and I think they were in 3 different cases, in 3 different issues. They just changed, and the ETF was one of them. So most people seem pretty convinced that this was politically motivated. That the SEC, they got a call saying you need to approve this thing, and then all of a sudden, it was a go. So 1 week before, then people saw these signs. Okay, this is actually going to be approved, and then it went up with more than 30%. So when it actually got approved, not that much happened, but it happened the week before. So it went up quite a bit.
Cool.
And I think actually this is a very good thing. Probably, I mean, if this is a permanent switch now, that all politicians, or both parties in America, if they are a lot more pro crypto, I think that's going to be really positive long term. Because then it's going to be more difficult for them to shut it down later, or restrict it too much. So I think it's actually super positive.
Nice.
I'm waiting for this real hysteria starting.
Yeah. I think Trump will win if he get by the jury and other stuff. So I think he will win.
But it's not as obvious, right? I mean, if you looked at the polls and stuff maybe half a year ago, then it was very obvious that Trump was the favorite. It doesn't seem as obvious anymore. So I'm not sure. It seems fairly even if you look at the polls and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, the crypto is still interesting, but I don't own a single
Yeah.
buy
Yeah. You're waiting for they to go up a bit more before you buy.
Yeah. I think at the current price, I feel it's not the right moment to either buy or sell. It's like you should
Yeah.
either like drop a little bit or start going up. But I mean, now it's pretty stable at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And I mean, we are at pretty good levels now. I mean, Bitcoin is just a few percent from all-time high, basically. And
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I will buy it someday, but yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah.
don't have the cash now to do it, so
Mm.
I'm just have all these mortgages at the moment. So.
Okay.
Mortgages on this house, mortgages on the other house that no one is renovating. So we'll see next year.
But how's the interest rates in Spain compared to like Sweden? Are they the same
I think
or?
it's pretty much the same, but I have the loan in Swedish bank. So,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's not a it's not I mean house mortgage is it's like a I won't call it in English, but blanco loan.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
So it's like worse conditions, but I can use it for anything. So
Mm.
so I have about 5.5% at the moment.
Oh,
Hopefully it will go down this year a bit.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I was expecting to have this for this year and a lot of interest to pay, but so it's all been calculated.
Mm.
So one thing I've been thinking about is like, and this is especially true in the US, but I think it will be even more true in other countries that there will be two different camps in the end: the ones that owns properties and the one that rents properties. Because I mean, it would be too hard to get into the market, and the inflation keeps like increasing prices. Um, so, and then more people that have more money are thinking that they should invest in a second home for as protection against inflation and just looking back at the history. I'm not sure what you think. But in general, I mean, less properties are built now uh, because they like more credit risks, and then also there's less land space, less interesting land space, I would say, and there are fewer places. There are just a few places I would say that are attractive if you think about location, climate, and well, restrictions and banking and other stuff. So I think the I'm not sure what it's called in English, like klyftor, but I think it is um, just increasing the distance between the ones that own something and those that does not own anything.
mm. Yeah, that's a bit scary, actually. I mean, it's just gonna increase, right? That divide.
Yeah,
I think.
Prices just going up and interest rates as they are. I think they talked about that just a few days ago in Florida. They were talking a lot of that about that. Many people, like just in America, have better climate. Many people move there who have money, so they were harder to even rent a place. It was
yeah,
people can't even afford
yeah.
to rent there.
Yeah, I think it requires like a salary together of about $200,000 or something to own or like a decent property. And this is if you're two. I mean, it's if there are layoffs or you're getting divorced or something else, you will not be able to pay it.
But
And I think
why is that really? Why are prices going up?
it's because they're printing money, and that's the background. They're printing money, and as Daniel say, there are external investors coming in. But in general, they're printing money, and also there are a lot of companies and ETFs, etc., in the US that buys all properties. So there are just fewer properties on the market.
But it's funny because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and then they were talking about how much property prices. I think it was like between 1870 and 1970. I think it was like this. Do you know how much the yearly increase in house prices was during that time? Leading question.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, almost
I-
nothing. Almost
Almost
nothing.
nothing.
It was maybe this was like like inflation in just
Was it?
it was like 0.06% per year or something.
Yeah, so
So
this is inflation adjusted, probably. Yeah, so
yeah, I guess it must have been.
yeah, it must be. So, but the thing is that the salaries have not increased. It's on other prices and property prices that have increased.
Yeah, but yeah, you mean that like the salaries haven't even kept pace with inflation? Yeah, I guess the last few years then probably it hasn't, because otherwise I don't know. Or has this happened? I think they talked about that it's a very recent thing, that
Yeah,
that property prices are rising. So the thing they wanted to say with this was that historically you could not like just count on housing prices just go. You couldn't just be rich by buying a house, but nowadays people are counting on that. We have gotten used to it. Like, oh yeah, prices should go up with 10%, in real terms or something like that, right? But
yeah.
that is not the norm. Maybe if you look at historical prices, which is a bit interesting.
Historically, I think it's been like 4 or 5% a year, if looking back to the 50s. So but I would say, as you say, in recently in COVID, it started when they started the money printing and had these low rates that people are locked into. A lot of people are, so they cannot switch and buy something new because then they will get the new rate of like what it is right now, 6-7% or something in the US.
Yeah.
But they just printing money now. So and
Yeah.
the salaries have increased, but they're not like keeping up.
Yeah.
So it's really specific for the US market to have the prices going up that much because of the money printing. But here in Sweden we have other issues because we don't build so much, and we also had like 0% rate.
But yeah, exactly. But then we basically have like a declining population.
Yes,
Uh,
in total, yes.
yeah. And I mean, in some places, it's almost like that should show up, right? That will have an effect, I think, in some countries. And that should put downwards pressure, I guess, on
Yeah. On the other hand, it puts pressure because pension system will not work. There
yeah,
will
yeah,
not be enough working people. Um, and also, I think there's like a psychological thing that, I mean, at least in Sweden, we had these like commercials and they push that everyone should have their own apartment. So we had this like push for single homes. So they thought everyone should have their own apartment, and then we still think that we are. Well, I've seen it in some places in Sweden now that Jews go together and to rent together an apartment. with people they know more or less. But still, I think our generation are thinking that we would never like to live with anyone that we, even if we know them good, we would not like to live with them. But now we can see that young people are forced to do that.
Yeah.
And then they are slaves to the owner of that property, which can charge a lot for that property. So and then they will never be able to go into the housing market because they cannot do the down payment, and even if they did the down payment, they would not be able to get a mortgage for that the whole sum.
Yeah.
And there's no alternative to moving for the kids today to move to the suburbs or something. I mean, of course, you could get something really cheap in a small town, but then we don't have jobs. And I'm not sure about the situation in your the remote work. I mean, at some point they wanted to offer remote work, and then they want to take it back to the office. So they cannot bet on moving to a smaller suburb or something.
I actually talked to a consultant just I think 2 weeks ago, just regarding new assignments. For now, I have work, but just I want to keep up, see what's happening. And he told us that of course during COVID everyone was working remote, and then it started to decline more and more. And he said nowadays there are almost no companies offering full remote work anymore. It's just going down maybe to 3 weeks you should be 3 days you should be at the office. But they also said that fine, if you prove yourself you can normally go down maybe to 1 or 2 days, but 100% isn't most companies doesn't have that anymore. Otherwise that would of course be a good thing, live somewhere else and yet still get a big paycheck. I think it's going away, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had a chart here somewhere like from the 1950s, different type of assets. So like gold, been increasing like 4 to 5% yearly. The stock market is the highest on like 10 or 11%. Properties normal like 3 to 4%, but commercial properties 7 to 9%. But
Which period was this?
I think from the 1950s or something. So.
Okay.
So, but in Sweden, I would never like dare to invest in commercial properties. It seems very risky in Sweden. I think we have many periods where we have like an overload of commercial properties that are not being rented out.
Yeah, I mean, especially for like retail, shopping and stuff like that. That's extremely tough. Seems like. So yeah.
So yeah, I think the best idea is to focus on cities where the rental market is good. I mean, I know here in Marbella they will have an event from United Emirates coming here, showing different type of models and properties they can invest in. So Dubai and Marbella is very much linked together because it's similar. Like rental market is very easy to rent out all over the year, and similar type of investment. So I think if I invest in another property, it would probably be first in Dubai. But also I think it's a good alternative because it's very close. You can easily open a company there. You can get the residency for 10 years. You can open a bank account. And the weather is also pretty much flipped from Spain, because it's got too warm in the summer, so you can easily go there in the winter, have a nice weather.
Yeah. But have you been there a lot to Dubai?
Yeah, I've been there like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, okay, yeah. But do you like the place? Do you like to hang out there? Yeah, I guess
Uh,
if you've been there that many times.
yeah, but I think it has the beaches, it has all the stores, it has the infrastructure for going both by car, and they have this subway. They have a good like banking system as well, a good tax system. So I would not say live there for the full year, but maybe like 1 month a year in total or something.
Yeah, one month it would be okay.
How about thinking like if you bring yes, if you bring a girlfriend there, how is the I think in women's right? Do they
Yeah,
like?
so I think what has happened in the last years or last 15 years is that United Arab Emirates have shifted towards the west, so they are trying to open everything up. So you can have anywhere clothes on the beach, and then this might sound strange, but this is quite open for being an Arab country. There are some signs like that you should not show affection publicly.
Mhm.
Uh, I am not sure what happens. I mean, we have held hands on the beach, etc. But of course, this is something that is easy to respect. Don't have to do it. So it also has everything you can experience is there. So you have all kinds of food, all kinds of theaters. It's like Las Vegas or something. I'll say.
Okay.
But
But I mean,
do you hang out in the marina or something? Where do you stay?
yeah. So the only place I'm thinking about is in the Dubai Marina, and that's both for it's easier, it's better. If you start a company in the Dubai Marina area, you have different tax situations. That's one thing, and I only want to focus on the area where it's 100% safe to rent out the full year. So, and that is the only place I'm looking at the moment.
Okay. But I think when you are in Dubai, you're very like. I mean, if you stay in the marina, you're basically only going to be in the marina. I think it's really it's not very practical to move to other parts of the city or emirate, right? I mean, and
Yeah,
I think
it depends on what you want to do. Um, so personally, I don't have any. I have traveled maybe 1 hour at different directions by taxi, and that has been fine. But I don't have any need to go anywhere else. I mean, maybe like a trip for going to the desert or something one day, but otherwise, I don't need anything from any other place in Dubai.
yeah.
But yeah,
I just
maybe
yeah. I just found like because I mean we're so used to. I mean, like in Stockholm, I mean you can take your bike. You can go from one part of the city to the other one. It's so easy. But
yeah,
in Dubai, basically, you have these highways, basically, right in the city,
yeah,
and it's such a different like concept and layout and everything. And it takes a while. I mean, if you go with taxi, I thought it took a very long time if you're going to go from two different between two different areas. And also with the metro, it's only one line, right? I mean, usually there can be quite some distance to just to go to the closest station. It's not like what we used to that we have this like really well built out system with stations
yeah,
everywhere. Basically, I found it I don't know a little bit less attractive because of that.
yeah.
But for
I
sure,
mean,
yeah, if you're happy with staying in the marina, then I think you're fine. Actually,
yeah. I think we have it quite good if we can go by bike in the city to different places. I don't think there's like so many cities you can do that if it's a big city.
Yeah.
But personally, I found using their cab system quite well, and it's very cheap. It's state owned, so it was actually cheaper than Uber. It's one of the cheapest countries I've been in. So yeah, I liked it. It was more like I would say a resort where you get everything served. It's not. Many have said like it doesn't have a soul. I can agree to that statement, but it will not be the place where I'm staying at most of the time. It will be a place for a shorter vacation. I could work there. I could do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
there are many different advantages or disadvantages with different places. For Sweden, it will always be the climate for me that will prevent me from doing things at different times. Here, I mean, of course, they're like a little bit seasonal, so you can see now that there's more traffic starting to come, and it will be pretty much choked in July and August. But at that time, I plan to be in Sweden or somewhere else. On Matt is frozen again, or just surprised. You
It's
have
to
the
be shocked.
same face. Yeah, he's shocked. He has his shocked face, and now.
Yeah.
So I think that there's no perfect place, but you can have the opportunity to live at different places at different times.
Yeah. 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 That's cool. Yeah. What are your summer plans in general?
Yeah, so I have planned to come to Sweden in the middle of July, and then I will just be in Värmland fishing for 2 weeks. Then I will go with my girlfriend on a road trip for like 2 weeks. So we go first visit my grandma, and then go along the west coast. I've never really been on the west coast, so we'll stop at every city from like Torekov, Halmstad, Tylösand, Smögen, yeah, Marstrand, etc. So we'll
Okay. We might
stay in different places there.
meet up in Båstad.
Yes, okay. So will you be there all the time, or?
No, I was actually checking it today. I quite often go to Båstad. I mean to check some tennis, since I'm an old tennis player, and I saw like I mean I guess the Stockholm week. It's going to be I guess from the 15th of July probably to the 22nd or something. But before that, you have the women's tournament, like maybe from the 8th or something.
And that sounds interesting to you.
The women, I mean, yeah. Well, one advantage is that apart from is that women are playing, then I think it's a little bit less crowded. It's still going to be enough people. Totally, it's going to be enough people, and there's going to be. I mean, if you want parties and everything, it's going to be parties that week also. But a little bit more easy, to find accommodation and stuff like that. So that could actually be an option.
Yeah. I will be there in August on the west coast. So
In August, okay.
in the beginning of August.
Yeah.
That is the plan.
What about El Presidente?
No, actually, this year is going to be more just staying at home. We're planning on renovating a bit on the house. We have an extra floor that we haven't started with that we're thinking about doing some at least a little thing, and we have been doing a lot of work on the outside as well. So we said this year it's just focus on the house and maybe go into the country house, but nothing more than that.
Like,
So,
are you going to do any
Yeah.
actual work yourself?
I'm not sure this time. No,
So you're going to sit back and inspect?
I think that would be better nowadays. So maybe have a drink and see that they're doing it correctly. That
Okay.
seems more nice now.
About the extra floors, I will have someone coming here tomorrow to drill to see if I can make a basement. It's a little bit late now, but yeah, I will do. At least I want to know if it's possible. So they will do some drilling, and then they will have some kind of geo tool here scanning the ground or something. Because maybe start next year if it's possible. Because it would be nice to have build a gym again and like a car port or something.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll see.
but that sounds like a project for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it may be a little bit crazy to do now when everything is working. But I hope they are good at what they're doing. So
Hopefully.
the risk is minimal.
Yeah, but I heard about people doing that. So hopefully you have a good ground. Would be nice to see.
Yeah, we'll see. At least do some testing now, and then I'll think about it for half a year, and then maybe next year.
And Matt, are you doing something else besides following the women's teams around Sweden?
Exactly. I actually have one trip booked to Scotland, like first week of August.
Okay.
So
How did you end up in Scotland?
my girlfriend, she has some friends there, yeah, and so we're gonna in Glasgow. So I'm gonna stay a couple of nights there, and then I think we will go on some kind of road trip around Scotland, maybe with them. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Have you been there?
No.
Yeah, I've been either. So
It should be nice countryside.
the interesting thing was, because I guess you want to see. I mean, Glasgow. Then we're gonna stay, I think, with our friends. They have like a big apartment, so that's gonna be fine. But then probably you want to see Edinburgh. I mean, which is the main city, and then probably you want to go and it's called the Highlands. I think it's pretty nice nature and stuff. But I was looking at taking hotels. It's very, very expensive. I thought when I was Googling, like, for example, Edinburgh, I thought I must have done something. I must have searched something. It must be something wrong. It's very expensive. And when I checked other places as well, it's oof, super expensive, actually.
So how much does it cost there?
I don't remember, but I mean, way more than I expected. I mean, it felt like you had to pay, I don't know, 200 euros a night. Felt like, that was like the least or something.
Yeah, I was looking at hotels now for Sweden, the West Coast, and I mean they were like 200 euros a night, most of the places.
Oh, okay.
This was now, and not even in July, so it will be even more expensive then.
Yeah. But did you expect Scotland to be like high profile?
Yeah, I think everywhere now, it's just really expensive. It is just we are comparing the old pricing that we were used to. Like let's say we have maybe had like 100 euro in mind or something, but
Yeah.
it has really changed everywhere. It's not.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. But this was a bit more actually than still. I mean, when I've been traveling the last few years, definitely it's more expensive. But I mean, you can still usually find like reasonable prices.
No.
In many places, but yeah, this was something special.
Will you
When
be
I was
trying out?
renting out,
Sorry. Yes, maybe we will
yeah.
we will end up staying in their apartment the whole week, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
No, maybe when I was renting out here, I was I was charging in high season like 12,000 euro a week. And now it's up like 15 or 16,000.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. So I mean, it has increased everywhere, I think. And I mean, not talk about Dubai, it's crazy. And then you have so many properties, but there's so many options, but still.
Or aren't you tempted to rent it out at those?
I'm really tempted to rent it out when I'm in Sweden for 1 month, but still I don't want to disturb the neighbors. And now I have a lot of clothes here. I'm trying to get more. Yeah, so but it feels really strange to not rent it out because
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
parking.
it's a lot of money in that case, and probably those weeks you can get like peak prices, right?
Yeah, this is the peak time. It's also so.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this, but I almost promised my neighbors not to rent out. So
Okay.
How much can you make that? Isn't it, I think, in your plans to buy a property and sell it rather than just buying a property and renting it out instead?
yeah, I think it's good to well, first the type of company that has been created, you're not allowed to rent it out. You're only allowed to flip it. So, but it would be interesting to have privately something that you could buy now, let it appreciate along with inflation, and then rent it out. So something, maybe an apartment in Puerto Panos or something, smaller one.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
as soon as my son is 18, I kick him out.
To his own apartment in Puerto
Yeah,
Banús.
he will rent 300 euros a day.
Mm.
No, he has to work hard for it. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
Okay, so does anyone have any good tech news? Or
What was that cliffhanger you talked about before?
Sorry?
It was a
Matt's cliffhanger?
cliffhanger.
Yeah, Matt was going to show us that big palace in
Yeah,
Brazil.
yeah, but
Yeah, yes.
yeah, but I looked for it now, and it's that ad is removed, so I guess it's sold.
Uh-huh.
But it was
Big.
maybe next time I can show you something. I can try to find something similar. It was
Are you sure you saw it?
It's going to
yeah.
trick us again.
No, I had
Yeah, next time, something bigger.
no, but it was in this area. Santa Teresa is called in Rio, and it was really basically I sent it to a couple of friends and they said, oh shit, this is a palace.
So how much did that one cost?
So that one cost about like 5 million reais, which is the Portuguese currency. So that means like if you multiply by 2, you get Swedish krona. So 10 million Swedish krona, yeah, something like that.
But
But
you must be tempted to buy it.
if I was,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, me and a friend, we were talking about, when we were in Rio. We had
Cliffhanger.
sorry?
You
Yeah,
froze.
you froze again.
No, we were discussing this to create some kind of small hotel or like Airbnb style. Because we had a friend who did that, and that seemed pretty cool actually. So I see that there are people who do this. They buy these these really grand houses, and then they turn them into like a boutique hotel, you can call it maybe. And they are built like they are situated like they're a bit elevated, and they have this amazing view, over the city, and it's really really cool environment basically. And I actually could see myself doing something like that. I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, I would have someone run it. I mean, during the rest of the year, like during winter season.
No. So
It
how
would.
cold does it get in winter season?
No, it's still it's warm in the winter season. But the good thing with Rio is it's not too hot. It's actually I think it's fairly comfortable still.
Yeah.
So I think it
Do
pretty. I
you,
mean, yeah.
do you feel safe to buy something there?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you would need to find someone that you can trust. You know, some lawyer or something like that. You know. I mean,
I
I
mean
would.
more like keeping a place there rather than buying. I think the buying process is safe if you find someone you can trust, but then like
Yeah.
keeping it, maintaining it, and going there.
Yeah, no, I mean there would be certain risks, you know, with security and stuff like that, of course, and there could be pretty high costs for maintenance and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah, you could probably have like this webcam service and broadcast from the palace
yeah.
directly to Pornhub or something.
Yeah. No, but I actually think it's. But I know one. It's a guy from Argentina. He has this like in Ipanema. It's like a pretty big apartment, you know, on the ground floor, and then he's renting three or four, something like that. And yeah, it seems like a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to have a palace. One thing I would like to have one day is I studied before is in Croatia, like house directly connected to the crystal clear beach. And all the houses that have the berth, so you can put your small boat. I mean, a small, very tiny motorboat just for go fishing or something.
Mm.
Yeah,
That
that
would
would
be
be
the
nice.
dream.
Cool.
Yeah, Croatia can be very nice, for sure. But pretty expensive, I guess, these
Yeah,
days.
the prices have increased just like in Spain, I would say.
Yeah.
But still, it's not as the rental market is not the same way as here. But I think it's interesting to have anyway.
Yeah. I actually I talked to a friend. She actually did. She invested in a second apartment. She basically wanted to, you know, be financially independent a bit. So she yeah was she also wants to get away in the winter and stuff like that. So she basically bought a second apartment and to rent it out, and then she has a room that she rents out in her current apartment, and yeah, but it's kind of a hassle. I mean, in Sweden because you're not really allowed to rent out
Yeah,
the apartment. So she basically hasn't been able to rent it out, and she bought it exactly at the worst moment, you know, before the interest rates went up. So she said that the apartment has definitely gone down in value, and she has not been able to rent it out. So it's like a nightmare financially, you know, total nightmare.
so
So I mean, you have to be a bit careful with property investment. I mean, I advised her to invest in the stock market. Right, it's so much easier for so many reasons, right? And because especially in Sweden, it's too difficult to rent out your.
yeah. Yeah, the only few places in the world you can really rent out full time.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened with those owned apartments. Um, because Weren't they a thing a few years ago that they started with real owned apartments that you could do whatever you wanted with, not
Oh, yeah, but it hasn't really become a thing, right? I see it very seldom.
I'm not sure why.
But what is the problem? Is it just the socialist envy, or what is the problem? Not in
Oh,
Sweden.
I don't know actually. I mean, we are the ones who are special, right? I mean, most other countries have the other system where you own it.
Yeah, I
It must
wonder
be
why.
a hang up we have. I mean, we cannot be right and everyone else is wrong. Just cannot be.
Is this that they haven't like figured out the taxation really, or to discover people renting out? I wonder what it is, or they think it's people should only have one apartment where they live in.
could it be to keep the rents down then, maybe? Because if you can't buy a lot of apartments, you can't push the prices if you can only own your own apartment. Maybe it can create less of a buy pressure.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure. I'm
Yeah,
just guessing. Yes, old socialist laws still in effect.
yeah. I would guess so. Also, but
yeah, and at the same time, the rents are so low in these old buildings
Yeah,
in the city.
yeah, weird.
but isn't it like, I mean, with Systembolaget and everything, I think once you have created this system, it's very difficult to get rid of.
Yeah, but when do you think, yeah, we will get rid of Systembolaget? I mean, at least to push the power so you can buy at the different, yeah, what is called the different type of wineries or breweries, and I
But I
think
think
it will pretty soon.
But I think in Finland, for example, I think they have allowed, supermarkets to sell beer, right? That is fairly strong now. I think don't think it will be like a development like that. That it will be step by step. We're not going to start with selling vodka in supermarket. It's going to be because today you can sell with 3.5%, and maybe when they start changing it, it's going to be okay up to 5%, in the supermarket, and then maybe the wine, and then it's my guess. At some point we have to fix it, right? I mean,
Hopefully. I
But
think it will
back
take
to
time.
sorry, Daniel.
No, I think it will take a time, a while before it gets changed.
Yeah.
I think I also think it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Mm. So when do you think because I was talking about before that the US is split and Sweden too, regarding like owning and renting. So when do you think there will be more people renting than owning? Because I think it will happen and it will increase in pace, especially as institutions start like buying like private properties.
Yeah.
Because if they have like many properties, they can keep the maintenance pretty low compared to one person owning it. You could have one guy running around.
But aren't the prices starting to get so high now that most people can't afford to buy a small apartment
Yeah, I think
inside Stockholm? And then, as you say, people will start looking at bigger apartments and going with friends or just random strangers and
yeah,
nothing to do like London, and that will only make prices even higher because then you can afford a bigger
yeah,
place.
and especially in Sweden now because of the currency value. I mean, everything is cheap in Sweden compared to other countries.
Mm.
So I think they will swoop in and buy apartments that will increase it further.
But at the same time, I feel like, I mean, I'm not very tempted in investing in real estate, just for the returns, basically. At least if you're looking at appreciation. Maybe if you can squeeze out really high rents, then it's a different thing. But otherwise, I mean, if you look at let's say that you invested in a global index fund, for the last 5 years, that has basically doubled in value. And how much, Daniel, how much has your house increased in value the last 5 years? Would you say? What do you say?
That's
It's not
5 years. Not so much.
not that much, right?
No, not the last 5 years. I think it actually went down now since the
Yeah.
interest rate kept going up.
Definitely. I mean, we're not at peak prices now.
Yeah, but I think first thing, I think it will go pretty fast because there will be, it's just fewer and fewer properties being built. That's one thing. And there's so much cash around, and people are thinking about their second home. And especially in places where you can rent out, and especially if people start seeing this inflation never going away, where are they going to put the money? Okay, they might think stocks, but do they want to put everything in stocks? Maybe you put 20% in real estate, and just 20% is a lot. So they will do both. And they will do like micro investments because they might not own the whole property, but they will go to different type of funds to buy a part of a property or something.
Yeah. No, that might be true. That might be true. But that's the way I'm thinking also a bit. Like, I mean, it could be nice to like spread the risk a bit, and not only be 100% in Nvidia or something.
No, Nvidia and Bitcoin only. No. Yeah. At the same time, you don't want too much money in the bank. Also, there's so many risks with having the money in the bank. So in some way, you're safer by having it in a property.
Yeah, I mean, money in the bank is definitely not an option. It hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah, but the same. I mean, if you buy these index stocks or whatever, it is in a bank in some way, and you will never be able to get that money out in cash. If once you have it in the bank, the only way to get it out really would be if you like sold your house or something. You could get into something else, but you can never get to go to your bank and say, "Yeah, well, I want this 10 million out in cash." That could never happen. They will never do it.
Why do you mean that they? I mean, if you have stocks, for example, or mutual funds, can't you get your money out?
No, you cannot get out in cash.
If you want to stuff it in the metal.
So you have to put it somewhere else. Yeah. But you cannot go and ask for it in cash, or I want it in gold or everything. They don't have that cash. They cannot give it to you. It's just numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
So for that, I mean, I would not like to have like too much into stocks either. So it's I'm thinking about some crypto in the future, but not more than like 5 or 10%.
In crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting for it has taken so long time for some real usage of it. I mean, to be able to pay in all places with that crypto. But I guess it's pretty much the same, I guess. If if you have the credit card that you have connected to it, it will do some kind of exchange at the moment. But if you want to buy something bigger, for example.
But don't you think that meme coin trading is something real?
I'm not sure.
But to be honest, I actually think that, I mean, because people have done it for such a long time, it has been a big thing. And also like the meme stocks, like GameStops and AMC and whatever. I mean, people really like to do this. This is some kind of entertainment, right? I mean, people are just laughing it off, basically, just saying that this is like there is no value in it. But people keep doing it. So I mean, I think it has proven that it has some value. I mean, it has some value that you have these platforms, right? I mean, for now, for example, like all of this is happening, you know, on Solana, right? People are buying these like Doland, Tremp, and Geo Boden coins, right? But I mean, it is.
But it's just because that's the only thing you can buy. They're buying it. If there were more options, no one would buy them.
So if there was no,
If there were more options, no one would buy these crap things.
if there were more types of coins, or what do you mean?
No. If there were more things you could buy easier directly with your bitcoins, I think no one would buy these things.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. But I still think that there would be, you know, because I actually think that, you know, when people who are trading these meme stocks, I mean, if you really want to do the meme thing, then you should go do the crypto thing, because then it's like then you have nothing behind it. It's only the meme. I mean, if you buy like GameStop or something, it is actually a real business behind there, even if it's going downhill fast. You know, I mean, if you want to buy the meme, you should do like the pure meme, like the coin which has absolutely nothing behind it. It's only, you know, you're buying only like a funny name, right? I think that's the pure version of it.
Do you own this? Do you promote this stuff? Do you have like a link to share?
For these meme coins, no.
Yeah, the Trump thing. What's it called?
Doland Trump. And Geo Boden is like the other. Yeah.
Do you own this yourself?
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is serious money, you know, which is being, you know, turned over. It is just say it's a joke, but I mean, I think it is a bit more than just a joke. I mean, no one is forcing people to do this.
As long as you can make money on it, shouldn't
Yeah, but
turn a blind eye.
people are paying, you know, a lot of money for this, and they're paying transaction fees, you know, when they exchange them and everything, you know. So
Yeah, I guess if you're like holding Bitcoin for many years and have a lot of Bitcoin and nothing to do on the nothing better to do in the day, I guess you might go for a click on a button and buy that one.
yeah,
You might be tempted, right?
yeah. Apparently, people are. So
You're talking about other people.
I am talking about other people, actually. Yeah. I'm trying to get you into this business. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Making you a favor here.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I noticed.
Where do I sign? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it passed the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, what do you tell our subscribers or non-subscribers? Mats.
What we tell them? Yeah, we tell them to. We tell them to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And turn on notifications. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. They should like it either way.
Right.
But how can you not like it?
Mats will be back with a new cliffhanger next week, so stay tuned.
Yeah. This time it's gonna happen.
The new Vapor Palace.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see.
exactly.
Okay. Well, okay. So thanks for today. We meet
Yeah.
in the lobby to discuss the most
Yes.
important thing, the thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
Perfect.
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.